We're live.
We're live as she sips her White Claw. The introduction of a lifetime.
Hello.
Okay, I tweeted out the link. I already had it prepared.
Okay, I'll go retweet it.
How many people are watching? Hello, everybody who was here early. Y'all are the real ones. Ooh, 11 people already. Look at you guys being on top of it. We love to see that. Okay, so I think first thing we should say is, in case of confusion, this is not the Bookfest in Bed event. It's not the whole shebang. It is not. There are no authors here. There are no booktubers here besides us. So just so you guys are aware, this is just a chill kind of. I kind of envisioned it as more of a behind the scenes kind of preparation live show, just to hang out with you guys. Maybe if you guys had any questions about the process of everything, if you guys were curious about everything, and just for us to just talk about, because I know I personally am nervous as hell. So this is kind of just a telling you guys that I don't know what I'm doing, and please do not expect BookCon energy from me, please. So that's kind of the overview. Carly, do you want to introduce yourself to anybody who may be watching and don't know who you are?
My name's Carly. I am the permanent co-host for Bookfest in Bed. We also do a book club together every month, so we host together all the time. But my username is Carly's Books on everything.
Yes. And her YouTube is in the description, as well as all of the Bookfest socials. So we have our Instagram, our Twitter, and our GoFundMe, which, by the way, we just hit our goal today, which was absolutely amazing. So we have reached our goal, but that does not mean that if you wish to donate that you cannot. That just means that we get more gift cards out in the world and we get more prizes. So if you guys are willing and able, there you go. Link is in the description. Next set of things, just before we just start talking, we will be giving away 4 books during this live show. I know Carly wants to do a little trivia for the Crow Writer, so she can run that when she wishes. We will also be giving away Kingdom of Exiles. This is also an ARC copy. Is it ARC or is it a finished copy? No, this is a finished copy. And The Burning by Laura Bates, also a finished copy, as well as What Kind of Girl by Alicia Scheinmel, also a finished copy. These 3 will just be given out randomly, and I am just going to do a random number generator thing at the last, after this live show is over, and I'll announce the winners on Twitter. So I guess before we get started, do you want to ask your trivia question?
Yes. Okay. So the first person who gets this right, whether I don't know how many people have read this book in the chat, but first person to get it right is going to be the winner. So the question is, in the book Furyborn by Claire Legrand, one of the main characters' name is Eliana. What is her little brother's name? It might be a while. I feel like
I know, I'm not going to say that for the whole time. Well, the first person who gets it right will be getting a copy of The Crow Writer, which is the sequel to The Storm Crow. Mm-hmm. And so,
I was going to do Storm Crow trivia because I've read the book, but I feel like less people have read that one. And you should read it.
All right. Okay. So, how are we feeling? Guys?
More people should read Furyborn, I guess. So.
Yeah, that's the overall message.
What is the second thing we're gonna do?
So I mean, that was pretty much it. I do just. Oh,
someone got it.
Yay, Goldie! I will be messaging you after this live show, and you are going to be the winner. So I'll email you, and we'll go over the details of your shipping address and all that jazz. So yay, fun times. We love winning. Okay, so first of all, I know I mentioned that I want you guys to have low expectations. I just want to say that Carly, I cannot stress how much this was not the plan. This I did not, because I knew after BookCon in bed last year, which if you don't know, if you missed my announcement video, we did do a similar thing, not really, last year with Carly and a couple of our other booktuber friends, Jamie from Leo Reads and Becca from Pistachio Paperbacks, where on the day of BookCon, we just literally just had a chill live show. And
we like did trivia and games, and we like rated booktubers' outfits that they wore to BookCon. And just talked about like what our perfect book festival convention would look like, the different things that may stop people from going, and if you even want to go in the first place. Yeah.
If you guys want to watch that, that's on my channel somewhere. Just search BookCon in bed, and it'll be the first thing that pops up. But so like I knew I wanted to do that again.
Yeah.
But then Miss Rona happened, and I was like, okay, well now like yes, well it was before BookCon even was canceled, but I was still like, like it would be kind of cool if you like had like actual authors come on, and I was literally FaceTiming Carly when I thought about this. I was just like, you know what? Why don't I just like email a couple authors? Like, why don't I just email a couple authors? I maybe like,
and I even suggested, I was like, how about you email like a lot of them, so a bigger chance of having like 2 or 3 come on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I was just like, let me just email authors, and I was like, it like 1 or 2 will probably like agree and think it's like a cool thing. All of them agreed.
All of them agreed.
Y'all, all of them agreed, except for like the most outrageous people, like freaking Renee Audier. And I think she was like the most outrageous one. I mean, though Claire Legrand, I feel like is kind of on a similar level, and Rin Chapecco too.
So I like freaked out when Heather texted me and told me that Claire had agreed. Like, I was like, can we try Claire? Like, I know she probably won't, but she was supposed to go to BookCon, and she's not going to BookCon anymore, and she's supposed to promote Lightbringer, and I was like, she might say yes.
Yeah.
She did, and I like cried. So,
and I knew Claire Legrand was big because there are a few authors where like I am in contact with their like not publisher, but their manager. It's not a manager. I don't know what the correct term is. The like literary agent is maybe what it is, but I don't even think that's the proper term. Whatever.
Maybe like a social media agent, something.
Yeah, like the person that works in the publishing house that is like designated to like
for their promo.
Yeah, group of authors. So like there are a couple authors where I do like talk to them, but there are also plenty of authors where I just talk to them directly. With Claire, I actually talk to their assistant. Like their assistant, not like their publicist. I think that might be it. It's either agent or publicist. I'm not sure. But like a full on assistant. And I was just like, oh.
Miss Grand.
She's a Miss CEO. Okay. I have to set up the
New York Times author.
So yeah, like that, it was wild. And like I was getting so scared because it got to the point where everybody was agreeing, and I was just like, Bookfest in bed was gonna be 2 hours. 4 hours max.
Yeah.
And now it's 12 hours, y'all. 12 hours.
Y'all will be seeing me do a live mukbang.
It was wild to me. I just did not expect this at all. I did not expect for so many people to like agree to this.
And like because it's like a new like setup, it's very nerve-wracking to like for like technical difficulties stuff. Like we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah, like we've done plenty of live shows. We have done plenty of all of that. But like never live shows that we're bringing like 30 plus people on at different points of the day. So it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a great time, but I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't like uncertainty, but all I can do is just prepare. I have prepared full on transcripts of how everything is going to go. So that's all you can do, really. Yeah, that's a good question. We don't know.
I mean, obviously, we're gonna have to like use the bathroom.
Yeah, obviously. We have 10-minute breaks in between every person. So those will likely be when we're gonna, do a couple breaks and stuff. So we did like designate, so it's not like, okay, right after this person is done, like another person is coming on. I still made sure we had like a little like period.
And like if I have to go take a break and do something, Heather will probably still stay on, and vice versa.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a moment. It's gonna be an extravaganza, to say the least.
And like, if anyone knows me, they know Clara Grant is my favorite author. So I'm like already gonna be like shitting bricks, and so like
Oh my god, me with Katie Henry, another.
I know. Yeah.
Like, okay, so like I was posting about it. I was like, I made like the Bookfest in Bed account. Like I was tweeting about it. Like, oh, this is what we're doing. If any authors are interested and all of that jazz. Katie Henry, the author of Heretics Anonymous, which is like my favorite contemporary book. Yeah, I think it is. It's like right next to Emergency Contact by Mary H.K. Joy. She emailed me, bitch. She emailed me, and she was all like, is it okay if like I got involved somehow? And I was just like, is it okay? Like, you can take over, ma'am. You can do the whole thing. Is it okay? It's absolutely perfect. So that was another surreal moment for me. And I was just like, wow, this is really happening.
And it's really happening. And there's so many just like new like authors who are either debuts or like have really hyped releases this year coming out that I'm so excited for, and like I'm so happy that I'm like gonna have a part in like promoting their book.
Yes,
you know what I mean, like
yes, like Chloe Gong, The Violent Delights. We have like been fangirling over the fact that she's gonna be on, and like I'm reading Janella Angelis's Where Dreams Descend right now. It's fucking phenomenal, guys. It's just it's crazy. And like Shweta Takar, I'll have to look up how you pronounce her name, the author of Star Daughter. That is excellent.
I'm so excited for that book. I'm also really excited for the Booktube panels, though, because this is what I feel like. I'm going to critique BookCon for a minute here. It's a free country. I'm gonna critique BookCon. BookCon picks the same booktubers to be on panels every year, and maybe one of them is an actual booktuber that posts about books constantly, or at least weekly,
and consistently. Yeah,
it's never diverse enough. It's never international enough. Like, it's just, and I'm just happy that I hope people don't think we just picked our friends to do it, because that's like, we thought about who we would want to talk about certain things and who we think are good voices in the community.
Exactly.
And we could do better. We could have.
Oh, yeah. I already critiqued myself. I'm already mad that I didn't do like a specifically international panel. Like, we have like a couple international people. Like, we have like our UK, like our middle grade one is all UK booktubers, which I mean is international, but that's not what we say international. But like Fadwa is going to be on our blogging and diverse reads panel. So but bottom line, like, we could do better. But yeah, we tried our best to, try to like.
And hopefully, like, next year, it'll be an even like bigger and more concise and more planned thing. Like, we'll start way before.
Exactly.
And, we'll get to like really cater those experiences.
Yeah, and do feedback after I haven't done it yet, but I know that Google does those like little like feedback things. Yeah, and I really want to do that for Bookfest, because the whole point of it is for a community thing, and like I feel like I don't know, I did my best on how to get like feedback from the community, but of course, like, I'm only really active on Twitter, so that like, you know, it diminishes the audience and stuff like that. So hopefully after this, it gets even better, bigger and better, and all that jazz. But yeah, it's funny you mentioned BookCon, because another thing we did not anticipate is having to change our name and like actually getting copywritten by BookCon.
That's how you know it's so much bigger than it was last year, because there was no issue last year.
Not even 300. If you look at the video, only like a total of 300 views. That's less than like an average video from me. At least a
Monty
video for me. But
I've never been on Guru Gossip.
Oh my god! You know what? Oh, you know what though? I have, ever since I did my announcement video, I've been like, so when's Guru Gossip gonna mention Bookfest?
I'm ready to make my Guru Gossip debut, so
I'm just like, when are the girlies gonna give us a shout out? Like I'm wanting to know. It hasn't happened yet, but
I'm kind of scared.
If anybody watching is a Guru Gossiper, like,
I have a Sagittarius moon. I don't take criticism well.
No, please, all or what did they say? Like, all publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, you're right.
Do it. Bring it. Let's go. I'm ready. But anyways, so I actually didn't even think about the whole BookCon thing, because we use like the original like book like logo, and then we were like in bed. And then and so like I didn't even think about it. And then Mikayla is it Mikayla Reads, I believe is her tag on Instagram or YouTube, I don't even know. But she DM'd me and she was all like, hey, like you should probably like get permission, or like, what are you laughing at? Anyway, she was like, hey, I just like want to make sure like that you don't get in trouble or anything like that. And I was just like, and this was like a month before I was gonna make the grand announcement and like actually like start posting things. And so I was freaking out because I was like, oh, I hope they get back to me in time. I emailed them. Nobody emailed me. So you know what? I was just like, well, if it happens, it happens. I gotta post my shit. Like I gotta promote this. And then like 2 days after I like made my whole spread on Twitter, somebody from freaking BookCon emailed me, and they were all like, hey, you need to basically like you need to change your name. Like and I was, and like they were all like, oh, we were told by multiple people. And I'm just like, ma'am, where did you guys get my email? Where was my email? I told you. So like I was kind of mad that like people were like seeing me on Twitter and like seeing the account and being like, you know what? I'm gonna tell on this bitch. Like, y'all, come on now. But I mean, I get it. It's like a copyright thing. I understand. So it was just an easy fix. But that was just, again, it was like I didn't think that anybody would care, because it's like I don't want to say it doesn't matter or it isn't big. Like, it is fairly big, and I do think that this is going to be successful. I just didn't think like it was going to be big enough for BookCon to care, but apparently they did. Which I get it. I'm not like faulting them. It's a brand. It's a legal thing. Totally understand. It was just very surreal. Oh, Camilla, we do have Ramina Garber coming on. I know she isn't like lives in Latin America, I don't think, but she does have Lobizona coming out, and we are interviewing her for her book. I believe, do we have another Own Voices Latinx author on? I see, we have so many people, I can't even remember our lineup. I believe that she is our only one, but of course, and Clarabelle Ortega, who is her book Ghost Squad is Dominican middle.
I am reading that this week. Like, that is on my TBR for this week, and I am so excited to finally read it. I've been wanting to for so long. Yes. It's on Scribd, if anyone doesn't know, and I'm gonna listen to it while I play Animal Crossing this week.
Nice. I'm so excited. That one looks so freaking cute. Clarabelle is like, she's one of those authors where, okay, as far as interview questions are concerned, like I feel like I'm like being a little hard on myself just because like I want them to be good. Like I'm not expecting these authors to like have their best interview possible during Bookfest in bed, but you know, now this is a brand. Like now this is a thing, and I want people to have good experiences with it. I want to make sure I get good questions and all of that. And Clarabelle is one of those authors where like she is everywhere. Like she is popular on Twitter. She has her own podcast. She has her own YouTube channel. Like she is very like involved in like social media. And it's like I feel like all questions have been asked. But you also don't want authors where they're not nowhere and you can't find any information about them, because then you're like, okay, one, your book isn't even out. So like I don't know what I'm supposed to ask. So it's like it's been a process, but that kind of got off tangent, but that's something I have noticed. Definitely think they care more that BookCon is also hosting virtual panels. I was not aware of that, but again, that would make sense.
Claire was on a
always be international. You know what? I unfortunately have not thought about that. I mean, we have a fairly good amount, say, like donated for our GoFundMe. I don't know what international prices of books are yet, like shipping costs. So I will definitely research that, and I will have an answer for everybody by the time Bookfest is happening. So I do not have an answer yet, but thank you for asking, so I know to make sure I figure it out. How will the giveaways work? Okay, so the giveaways are one thing that I am especially a bit nervous about, because we don't know how many people are going to show up. So my thought process right now is, so we have books that are being given away during author interviews. We have quite a few of those given away during author interviews, as well as our our Booktube panels. I think actually that's like all of the books, because these were like the extra ones that we were going to give away in the breaks, but we're not going to do that. So our author interviews are going to have 3 questions, and then we are going to ask the audience to give us 2 questions. So I was thinking that the person who gives us the first question that we chooses gets the book. That's kind of where I'm going to come from. And it is definitely going to be imperfect. I can tell you guys right now, it's definitely going to be a bit chaotic, but that is kind of just how it's going to go. And so yeah, so that's what it's going to go for, like the author interviews. And then for the Booktube panels, I don't know if we're going to really ask questions for the, like, I don't think we're going to draw questions from the audience per se. So it's going to be similar to how these giveaways are going to work for this live show, where at the end of each section, at the end of each Booktuber section, I am just going to, or somebody is just going to pick random people, just like kind of just click. I don't know if it'll be at the end of that panel during the next 10-minute break, or at the end of the live show. This is really complicated. I apologize. But so it's kind of just going to be like a random, hopefully as random as possible. So that's how the book giveaways are going to go. The cards, though, are going to be at the very end of the live show, and I am just going to do a random thing and make sure that the person who wins gift cards didn't already previously get a prize. So yeah, I didn't know how to do it in like a really, like,
because we really want to make sure whoever wins the live show is watching.
Yeah, exactly.
Dressed in bed. Like, obviously, no one can probably watch the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people might, but like,
yeah, of course.
a ton of people aren't going to be watching the whole time. So like, you know, if you want to come for a certain giveaway or something like that to increase your chances. And then the people who are there at the end with us, you know, get that extra special little thing. But like I thought, you know, there's websites that you can do like all kinds of those raffles and stuff, but none of them could like make sure that it's someone who's actually supporting
commenting.
Us.
Yes, exactly.
Came in the chat, got the link, and left. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's really what it was. Because I want the people who have actually like participated in the event, whether it be for just one panel, one interview, or whatever. Like I wanted to make sure that it was those people that won, rather than like a link that people, you know, again, just submitted and like, yeah, if that makes sense, or involve themselves in or whatever.
Yeah, that would be the issue with like Raftercopter or Google Forms. Is that it? I mean, you know, people could just come for enter the link and be like, oh, I can leave now.
Yeah. So although of course that would make it a lot easier, it just I don't
want to be able to work through something like that next year, but this year it's just been like so kind of thrown together last minute, really. Like even though we've been working on it for what, 2.5 months, 3 months?
Yeah, 3 months max.
3 months, but it has never been as big as it was. It gradually got bigger, like we didn't even know we were going to have this many things to give away. Like we thought it was going to be like a gift card, like 1, maybe 2 giveaways.
Yes.
But like then I told Heather to reach out to Source Books for to see if like they had anything we could give away. And I was thinking like leftover like pre-order merch, like shit like that, like throwaway shit. And they're like,
exactly. And they sent like a huge box of books. Like I FaceTime Carly and I was like, yo, look at this. Like I was freaking out. Like if you follow our Instagram, like I literally like recorded myself as I was opening the box. I was just like, this is freaking insanity. So yeah, again, there are going to be a lot of things that we are going to have to work out. It is again going to be a very learning process. We're gonna try to make it as smooth as possible, but it is inevitable that things are just not going to work out perfect.
Think of it as standing in line at BookCon.
Honestly.
We're giving you the experience you so wish.
We truly are. Like we are going to like just imagine the chaos of everybody like trampling over themselves to get a Ninth House arc.
Stop. Like my friends are putting themselves in drag right now.
That is a moment. That is the moment.
But we cannot get a copyright claim from Miss Dua Lipa.
It's okay if this one isn't monetized.
Oh, they'll be fine. On their entertainment. Huh? Yes.
This is also a good idea. We did want to do games and all that. That's another thing where we anticipated doing games and all of that. But again, we got an overwhelming response from authors and we just don't have time. Like I'm also worried about like the 20-minute time frame for interviews, because I know that 20 minutes is kind of a long time, but it's also not that long of a time, especially in live show standards. Like it just goes by really quickly when you're like talking to somebody and you don't realize it. So my goal as an interviewer is just to ask questions about the books and have them be able to promote their book and influence viewers to buy their book. And so although like trivia would be freaking awesome and it's definitely something we want to do next year, like we definitely want to factor in more games in the future and like not.
I love trivia.
Yeah. Like
I made up all the games for BookCon in bed last year and I had so much fun, but I literally realized I was like, there's just no time.
There's no time. Like we could do it like in the 10-minute breaks. We could ask like one question.
Yeah.
And stuff, but like
the deepest like meaning for Bookfest in Bed for us right now is to help out these authors who are going to miss so much promotion material and time because of what's going on in the world right now.
Exactly.
Like I felt so bad when I saw debut authors having to cancel their book tours and stuff. Because I personally love book tours and I was excited for a lot of them. And like it might not be safe, but I'm gonna be so upset if Claire Legrand doesn't do a book tour for Lightbringer.
Yeah.
Because like that's my life. And if she does it, it'll probably be way later on, but like that's okay. But like I'm just saying, like it's heartbreaking for these authors because this is when they get to go out, promote this baby that they love, and they put so much time and energy into, and also meet the people who support them.
Exactly. And also the trivia wouldn't work for like a majority of authors because I believe we only have a couple authors. I would say like maybe like 15% of the authors that we have coming on either already have books out or they have multiple books. Like I think we only have like a couple people who have multiple books. Rin Chapeko has like the most books, I think. Or no, Rin Chapeko and Claire Legrand have like the most backlist titles.
Claire has a ton of middle grade books that I haven't even read. She has a huge backlist.
Yeah, so like most of the people that are coming on are debut authors, which was kind of another point that we really wanted to do, or at least like books that haven't come out yet. So like a lot of books are coming out in like August that we are having authors for. So like again, we couldn't really do like trivia for them because like I haven't even read a lot of the books that like I'm interviewing these authors for because like I don't have arcs, you know. I don't got them, so I'm kind of just that's so yes, we definitely get the games, we definitely get the trivia, and I know there are going to be some people that are really going to miss that and really going to want that because that is a pretty big part of like a book convention experience. You know, you go to like the little cool prints freaking trivia games and all those things, so that will definitely be there next year. We will have a very much more well-rounded Bookfest in Bed next year, but that is not the case this year, but it's still going to be great. It's still going to be a fantastic time. We just have improvements to do. Something I've seen with author live streams is pre-film the interview, then the author. I have seen that. That has been the like predominant practice lately. I have noticed.
But I think also like we wanted to emulate a live Bookfest panel. So we have discussed questions that we have discussed and made, but we also want to leave the audience to be able to answer questions as well. So ask questions as well. So like it might be, it's probably going to be messy, but and we don't have a lot of time with each author, but I think the live part is what we really wanted from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like this is definitely, if I did hour-long interviews with just one author, like for example, Rocky from Blonde with a Book, who if you guys are not subscribed to her, she is now starting a series where she does like, I think it's like Blonde with an Author is what it's called. It's really cute. And she has done an author with Leah Johnson, and I know that is pre-filmed. Like they did it themselves and then they uploaded it, which I think that works for it. But for what we're doing, I think it's just better. We're making sure that to accommodate the shorter time frame. We are sending all of the authors the questions beforehand. So hopefully, like we're hoping that like each question is like 5 minutes max, and so we can at least like ask or pick one question. Hopefully two, like that's hopefully we can pick 2 questions from the audience. But again, it all just depends. I'm sure it'll be on an author by author basis. I'm sure some authors will answer their questions really quickly, and I'm sure others it'll be like a longer discussion. And we're just gonna have to go with the punches. And I think most people are I think most people are like, you missed signed books or Mr. I don't know. Or themster. I don't know. But I'm sure most people are going to have this mentality and are going to understand and like be accommodating and not be overly critical. At least I hope so. Because again, if y'all are overly critical, like I can't fault you for that. But also, I'm not getting paid for this. Neither of us are getting paid for this. Like, unless I get some AdSense money, which is nothing. And then 2, like, I am not a professional in the slightest. Like, I have never done anything like this at all. Like, the closest I have come is I organized like a Disney themed princess dress up in my high school Disney club when I was in high school. Yeah, I know, it was a cute moment. It was cute. Like, the kids came and we did crafts and shit. But like I don't know what I'm doing. Carly doesn't know what she's doing. Nobody knows what they're doing. But you know, we're trying our best.
Mm-hmm. And hey, maybe the authors will enjoy the shorter time frame, because a lot of authors, you know, talk about how they get a lot of anxiety from long interviews or events like this. But, you know, a shorter time frame, they get in there, they say what they need to say, they see the people who support them, and they can get out if that's what they enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, that's true. It is completely free. Completely and utter free. No charge at all to anybody. Monty really is the real one for donating to our GoFundMe page. I can say it because you said it. So you said it, not me. What moderation efforts are you guys having? So yeah, I'm in the process of finding moderators right now. If anybody in the chat wants to be a moderator for some point of the live, definitely let me know, because we have 2 right now. But of course, since it's such a long live show, we're gonna need more, and because like I don't want somebody to have to do it for all 12 hours. So so if anybody is interested, please contact me, DM me on Twitter, because I need help. Or at least we need help with that, because another thing is we are not going to make a repeat of y'all stay at home. That is not happening on this house. We are not going to have our authors be what do you call it? Like, abused or freaking, like, what, I don't know words, but that's not happening. They are not going to be experiencing any oppression, any derogatory terms. Like, we're definitely want to make sure that that doesn't happen. So, and also the moderators would help a lot with giveaways. So I'm hoping that will kind of be the case as well. So like the moderators during our author interview or booktuber panel will be watching the chat. And so they can like make that a little easier for us, especially during the booktube panels where it's not necessarily a question thing. It's just a commenting, engaging in the discussion thing. So yeah, we definitely need some.
Yeah, I know we're talking a lot about the authors, but you mentioned it. I'm so excited for the booktube panels.
Oh yeah. See, oh my gosh, yes.
I'm just like going to be able to like talk with people that I've only really interacted with on Twitter mostly. And like, that's so fun. And I'm just excited.
Yeah. I am so excited for the From Shops to Screens one and the blogging one, because From Shops to Screens one, I am always fascinated by how like different or similar like booktube is to like actual real life sales. And that's kind of what that panel is about. And I know nothing about blogging. Like, I know absolutely nothing about how that works, like how influential that is, like what that community is. I'm very curious about that one as well. And of course to talk with everybody and my friends and all that jazz.
Yeah, I'm happy we're going to learn about those different sides of the book community that we don't really know much about.
Yeah. We need a Bookstagram panel.
Even like the middle grade one. I read middle grade, but I know nothing about the publishing industry for middle grade, or like what authors are really popular, or like how promotion works, or anything like that. And like, I'm just really excited for that too.
Yeah, apparently like middle grade is like the rise right now. Like, apparently like publishers really are like buying middle grade like nobody's business, and I'm just sitting here in my YA bubble. Like,
well, I just feel like we haven't had like that middle grade book in a long time. I feel like the last one literally was, I mean, obviously I'm kind of like tone deaf on this because I don't follow middle grade, but I feel like the last one that really shook up the world was the Percy Jacksons.
yeah, I mean, I think Nevermore.
You're right.
Getting closer, but like that's the point though. It's like it's big when people that don't read middle grade read middle grade. Like I read Nevermore because of how much people talk
it's
about it.
on my TBR, so it's gonna be read.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, so I feel like, yeah, Nevermore for sure. Like I remember when
A Punch of Magic I see everywhere.
When the Trials of Apollo came out, I was like, oh, a middle grade. I should get back into middle grade. No, she didn't. Well, I will say, Claire Legrand has some great middle grades.
I cannot wait for Claire Legrand to come on because I'm all sitting here like I've tried to read Fairyborn like 3 times and I don't like it. I'm not gonna tell her that, but like I'm sitting here like I've never read a Claire Legrand book, and Carly's like her #1 fan, so it's gonna be an interesting interview.
I cried last time I talked to her.
Oh my god, that would be the moment. That would be the moment.
I went to her book tour for Kingsbane, and she told me she recognized me from online, and I started into that. I sprayed the edges of Furyborn, and she took a picture of it. She was like, "I want to remember this," and I just started bawling.
Wow.
And I was like, no one ever talks about some kind of happiness, and it changed my life. It like put my depression into words, and I've never had a book do that. And I was like, so like I'm like I would love to have like 2 hours to like go into detail with her about writing these books that get no praise, and they're
it cancels out like PEMDAS. That is so funny. You know what? That's also gonna be with Emily A. Duncan because I'm drafting up her interview questions, and I literally want to ask her like 50 more questions because I'm just like, yes, oh my god, give it to me, give me the inspiration, give me the information. And Carly hates that book, so
yeah, I DNF that book so hard. And Heather wanted me to try to read it again or just read it and get through it, but I didn't want to read it and hate it and then be sitting here because like I would be sitting here like.
What do you mean, Monty? You would love to talk to Mary H.K. Choi for 2 hours. Don't sit there and tell me you wouldn't.
I have so much to ask Claire. I want to talk to her about her playlist because she has every chapter of her books have a playlist. And like that's amazing. And I also like Furyborn is my favorite book of all time, so I have a lot of questions about Lightbringer, and she would never answer any of them, but I want to ask them. And then I want to talk about Sawkill Girls. I want to talk about the horror book she's writing. I want to talk about her middle grades. And I want to talk about Winter Spell and why.
Well, we have 3 questions, so you're gonna have to narrow that down.
I'm still perfecting them.
Oh yeah. Also,
I'm gonna leave them to Lightbringer. She's specifically here to promote Lightbringer, so I am gonna ask her about her new projects, but that's it.
If you guys like look up our lineup and you guys have any questions that you guys like have for any of the authors, like even if we have already like established the 3 questions, like nothing is concrete. I am not emailing the authors the questions until like Thursday night, maybe like Friday night. So if you have any questions that you like really want to ask, I can't guarantee anything, but I feel like I have lipstick on my face. I can't guarantee anything, but like if you have any questions, we're always open to suggestions.
Why your face look like chalk?
I wish y'all could see my view.
When? Hello.
Hey, friend.
Carly's having a real sleepover.
I'm having a real sleepover
myself. That sounded depressing. Oh my gosh, is your wife a mango?
Yes. The best flavor.
Wow.
It's the best flavor. Oh no, you don't think so. But we can discuss this. What's everyone's favorite flavor of White Claw?
The trash.
It's mango.
I mean, it was. I've only had mango, and like it wasn't bad. It was just sparkling water, and I hate it.
Hey, I'm gonna need more alcohol tomorrow.
I know.
I'm gonna have to get like a box of
Carly's over there. She opened the doors. Okay. What else is there to talk about? What else were we going to talk about? I feel like there's a lot. I feel like we have a lot of material that we could talk about because, 12 hours is a long time. We will be promoting IndieBound, like the website IndieBound, and we will also be promoting Libro FM. So those are two things. So like if you are watching the live show and you want to purchase a book from an author, we are recommending you like order from like an indie bookstore. Obviously, like you don't have to, but that's what we're going to be promoting. If you guys have any questions for us, we're open for questions.
What is the introduction from 9 to 10?
Oh, that is going to be going over the like overview, basically kind of low key like what we were just doing for an hour.
The schedule.
Yeah.
How the giveaway.
Or not rules, but just like for, how to conduct yourself. Like we're not making people not enter giveaways more than once, or we're not saying that you can't win more than one giveaway, but like we're kind of saying that, like just be considerate. And
introducing ourselves.
Yeah. And introducing like just us, our opinions, because like we are not going to be talking like throughout the entire live show except to ask questions or to talk to like, I guess the booktubers, like we'll talk more to them, but for the most part, like we're not going to be talking at all. So like a part of also of the introduction is like us talking about our anticipated releases, like us talking about like what we're excited for and all of those things. So that's what the introduction is. Obviously, like you don't have to attend because like there's nothing in it for you, but like it is going to be us like introducing things, and because not everybody is going to watch it, like we're also going to be like reinforcing a couple things throughout the entire live show, like promoting IndieBound, promoting Libro FM, making sure we're like cordial in the chat, making sure we're not spamming, making sure we're being like appropriate or, things like that. But yeah, so that's what the introduction is. Trying to sign up on the Twitter page. It is in the big thread. So if you just click on the pinned tweet and just scroll all the way down, it's all of the people are there.
And if you do like us and you do want to see more of our opinions and things like that, we do have a book club.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
We have a book club. We didn't do a book this month because of this, but we do have a book club. It's called the Cover Horse Book Club. It's just about reading books with beautiful covers, which is a huge part of promoting books. And we love the art of it. We don't believe in not judging a book by its cover because it should absolutely be judged by its cover.
If a book has an ugly cover, I won't buy it. Period. Yeah. Even unless I like love it.
But, like, I own a few ugly books. But yeah, we have a good time.
Yeah.
No one ever reads our books, but
yeah, you could subscribe.
Subscribe.
Like you could subscribe to me. You could subscribe to Carly. That's how you could give us your generosity.
We're not doing this for clout, but
Yeah, exactly. We are not. Yeah, we're not doing this for clout at all. Like, if we were, I would drive it hard. Like, you have to be subscribed to me. I don't know how I would enforce that rule, but like, you have to do this, you have to do this, and it's just like, I just have, the only reason it is on my channel, the only reason is because I wanted to make sure it reached as many people as possible. And if I made a separate channel for Bookfest in Bed, which maybe we will do next year, I don't know, we'll see. But if I did do that, it's inevitable that like not many people would see it.
And that's just like a YouTube channel that only does one live show once a year isn't going to get a lot of traction.
Yeah, it won't be in the algorithm at all. So yeah, that's the only reason. I'm sure people are gonna do that. Oh, that's another thing. Okay, so I did a thread and I deleted it because it was like 2 a.m. and I was like, Heather, put Twitter down. You don't need to do that. Anyways, so like this is something I can just talk in the live show because this is just us chilling. But I am nervous for the haters to show up. Like, I know I was joking about Guru Gossip, and I'm gonna take off my makeup and put a face mask on while I do this. I know I was like joking about Guru Gossip, and like Guru Gossip isn't anything, but like my videos, not to make this about me, as I just said, Bookfest in Bed isn't about me, which it's not. But like my videos get like minimum 3 dislikes every video I make. Minimum. Like without fail. My Bookfest in Bed announcement video currently has 2 dislikes. Which, I mean, again, dislikes work the same as likes in the algorithm, but it's still like that's just a prominent thing of my channel. Is just people just don't like hearing me whatever I say. And I have had like a few like not altercations, but like I have like been actively in a disagreement with. Yes, I have been actively like combative in disagreements with many people in like a certain like sphere of the book community. And so like I am really nervous about people like seeing this and like seeing it as like something for clout. And like even people like I have had like active disagreements with, like if they come and they like win a giveaway, like I'm not gonna be like, no, like you like I'm if I don't like you, I could freaking hate you. You could be like my least liked person. But like this isn't about me, like this is about the community. And it's definitely something that I'm like a little nervous about because I don't know. I know it's not about me and people probably won't care, but it's just something that I am a little worried about of just people like, I don't know, like my worst fear is people like reporting the video or something like in the middle of the live and then I'm having to re-email everybody the links and to make a new one and all of those things. Like I know it's not going to happen, or at least knock on wood. Like I don't think it's going to happen, but like, I don't know. It's just, people are wild.
I don't think that'll happen, but like, you know, this is why things are, you know, in the book community, things get heated sometimes.
Exactly. So it's like, yeah, it kind of sucks that like I like I said in the thread that I instantly deleted pretty much, I do not like regret anything that I say ever. Like I firmly believe everything that I've ever said because I've never like, you know, I'm just that's who I am. And so like it's not that I like want to apologize to those people or I don't think like hate is justified because like if you don't like what I say and I tell you off because you have a dumbass opinion, that's your problem. Like I don't know what to say. Like hold yourself accountable. You put stuff on the internet and want people to like that's open to criticism. So it's not that. It's just that like I don't ever want what I say and like my people's perception of me to influence how people having a good time, if that makes sense. And I make it sound like I'm fucking James Charles. It's like not that serious, but I don't know. You guys know what I mean.
My God, next year we have instant booktuber.
Oh my God. That would be such a moment. We love to see it. Do I have to like do I have to like take off my eye makeup to do a face mask? I probably should, but that's just so much work.
The book community is bitter about the most tame disagreements ever. Listen, they just make my biggest issue with the book community. I'm putting this out here now because I can't say this on the big one.
Yeah.
One person says a wrong opinion, and then everyone has to make a post about it like it's like 500 people saying this awful thing. Like, for example, when someone was like, real adults, or I don't know, what was the,
Yeah, the like, why don't you read like adult books?
The rainbow shelves one is.
Oh no, yeah, that was the recent one.
One person said rainbow shelves are ugly, and then I saw over 30 people who didn't even have rainbow shelves tweet the fact that people want to like dictate how other people organize their books. Like, that is so awful. Like, honey, you're just trying to have a book Twitter viral tweet as much as you can. And some people probably saw it and got offended, and especially people with rainbow bookshelves, say your piece. But after you saw like 3, 4, 5 other people say the same thing you're about to tweet, put Twitter down. Just retweet it. Everyone knows what you're like. No, like, that is not, if it's not a popular opinion and it's like one person saying it, why even waste your character limit? Like, I just don't get it. And then that's what makes book Twitter drama a thing, because the tea is that it's never really drama. It's one person saying something, and then everyone in the book community being like, no,
Yep.
cannot believe the rest of the world thinks this way except for us. So.
You're telling me there's a whole thing of Twitter that they just read? Do they like meet authors? Obviously not. I could never imagine reading. Oh my gosh, I look so cute. I should have got one of those like really cute face masks that like have the little. No, actually, those animal face masks do be looking a little creepy, so maybe this is the best case scenario. She said she was doing a face mask, and she's not, so I'm just the only one that's going to look crazy.
Well, me and my friends are going to do one later, but they're in drag right now, so I'm not gonna get it out right now.
That's fair. You can't interrupt the creative process.
No.
Man, whose face are these built off of?
I don't know.
Like, that's the real question. Who is the generic model for face masks? Like, who are they building the model off of? Because I would like to meet that person and see what their face looks like.
What me and Heather usually do when we FaceTime at night is watch Barbie movies. So,
did someone ask that?
No, I just want everyone.
I was like, I
want everyone to know that we hang out.
Can I like put my glasses on them? Ooh, that's a look. Truly.
We hang out from different time zones.
A moment.
At some point when we're FaceTiming for hours, Heather's like, is it 3 a.m. there? And I'm like, yeah.
You're like, Heather, do not talk about it. Concept. Don't remind me.
Yes, we watched Barbie movies. What's the one we watched? Island Princess last?
Oh my god, and Where Dreams Descend, I just thought about it like yesterday when I was reading it in literally only 20-page increments, because that's the only thing I can read right now. It literally reminds me of Island Princess, because her greenhouse?
Yeah.
The main character has like a greenhouse, and that's like her other hobby is like she like take cares of her greenhouse, and it's like literally, and the world is like set on islands, like various islands. It's Island Princess realness. Oh, look at my sister! Everybody say hello to my sister.
Aww.
This is my little sister.
Caraval's World.
Subscribe to her gaming channel.
Caraval's world is islands.
So you want like cheap?
Ooh. So that's interesting that those are similar like that. Because isn't it a circus?
It's not there is a circus, but like the main character is like a magician. So like it's like there's like a magician competition, and then in the same town, in like the same city, there is a circus. So
Oh,
yeah.
it's the night circus.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's literally
It's a night circus.
a night circus with an actual plot.
That's what I just said.
That's what it is, though.
Yes. Wow. But what was I gonna say?
Oh, I feel like somebody asked earlier, like, what the dress code is. I don't know. I don't think we know what we're wearing. But like, PJs are a good bet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any cute PJs.
I have these shorts I'm wearing right now. That was an interesting pose I just did.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably, I don't know. Last year, me and Heather wore Hawaiian shirts.
That's just my. That's my.
That's just our aesthetic.
Yeah, that's just like my default.
But this year, we wanted to get something mint to wear, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, it didn't happen. Ooh, is there tea? Is there tea with Erin Morgenstern? Is she just like freaking what's her face? Samantha Shannon? There's just something a little fishy with adult female authors who
I mean, I get it because like when I think of adult fantasy, I always think of like male authors, and I'm like, that's why I don't want to read adult fantasy. But like also it should like just correct people without being upset about it.
Yeah. And it's also, I think Francine Simone did a whole thread on it, and she was just like, are you getting your coin? Are you getting your money? Like, are you getting the checks? Yes. So who cares? Like, again, I get it. I get the sentiment. We just recently had the YA versus adult like whole debacle recently. I understand the misogyny and the weird thing about like adult fantasy only being men, and like Mistborn for some reason is an adult series even though it's YA, literally YA. I just read it recently and I was like, why is this not YA? But it's also like it's just the way they say it is just so like condescending, and it's just so like belittling.
Especially when your main audience that is actually like the main audience who is obsessed with the night circus and the Starless Sea are young adults.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that from BookTube and Book Twitter. Like that's just like they're like the fans, the stans of those books are usually YA people. I mean, I consider myself a young adult. I'm 21.
Yeah.
Wow.
Carly's about to fight.
Yeah, so there is an issue with adult fantasy written by women being called YA, and I agree it shouldn't be the default. But I don't know, like it's some people do need to chill about it.
It's just sometimes how they just complain about it. It's just, and it's like my thing with Samantha Shannon. I love how we're just this is completely off topic, but it's fine. This whole live show is just is a chill live show, a de-stressor, all that. But my thing with Samantha Shannon is I wish I had the receipt. So you guys are just gonna have to like take my word for it. But I remember seeing tweets earlier. I don't know when it was, but she was like complaining that. Or she was like complaining that people complained about the size of Priory of the Orange Tree. And then she was like, in the same tweet, she was like, oh, there is like you guys like Fury is longer or other things like that. And so
she said YA books.
Exactly. She said long YA books. And so that's why it discredits her. Because
I
use like the benefits of the YA audience, but the fake ass prestige of adult fantasy that is completely built up of the patriarchy and like why do you need to be validated by men?
Like I agree. Like, but first of all, I just hate age groups for books anyways. I hate,
That's
like,
true.
I think it's helpful. Like when I was younger, it's probably helpful for me to know what books were better for me, because you want to connect to people who are your age. But when it gets to like my age now, it's just the discourse behind it is so tiring that I just end up hating it altogether.
Yeah.
And I wish more people gave YA books a chance. Like that also makes me upset, is that there's so much discredit to YA books as a collective, because I think YA books are some of the best books being published right now.
Period.
And they shouldn't be just thrown aside. Oh, they're for teenagers. Like, no, they have a lot of depth. And a book about teenagers can still give meaning. It's like, well, I can still read a middle grade book right now and still find meaning in it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Freaking, okay, so I was drafting up interview questions for Maggie Takuda Hall, who is the author of The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea. And so I listened to the 2 podcasts that she has done, which, by the way, podcasts have been the real ones when drafting these interview questions, because I just didn't have the chance to read all the books myself. Again, another thing where I'm going to make sure I do next year. But regardless, like, just listening to her talk about it, like the themes of those books are literally like decolonization, reconstructing gender roles and like gender identity with like non-binary identities and gender fluidity, deconstructing sexuality. She was deconstructing the idea of like mermaids being like the epitome of the male gaze, and like all of this like crazy, like she also said, like every single time violence happens in my books, I want people to be unsettled. Like I want people to be like, oh, that just happened. Like all of those things. And it's all YA. Like you can't just sit there and say that YA isn't like have substance, you know?
It does, but it does.
It does. It does.
I understand the use for classifications like that. I understand they are needed and they are effective in some areas. I just don't understand why there has to be some kind of like attachment to them, like some kind of general like feeling that has to be attached to them, because I mean, it's just about the age that it's targeting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Honestly, I hate to say it, but like men just need to publish more YA. Adult fantasy authors just need to publish more YA. That's just honestly
from men, and it's because I mostly read YA. And not saying I want to read books by men, but there are some men who I want to read more of, because like trans men or gay, like I realize I've like not really read a ton of books by like gay men.
Yeah.
And like that's something that's really missing in my
Cemetery Boys, Aiden Thomas. We tried to get Aiden Thomas, but he was
Cemetery Boys, and I feel like people need to step outside of Adam Silvera, and I do too. I need to look harder for things like that. But I do think men are more likely to publish in adult.
Yeah.
Even when books, I mean, like me and Heather read, what is that book called? The long one?
Name of the Wind?
Yeah. Name of the Wind. We read Name of the Wind, and that shit happens when like he's all types of ages. So
he's not even but he's a teenager for the majority of it.
For the climax of the book, he's like 18.
Like he not even. I think he's like 16.
Yeah. But
like I still wouldn't classify it as.
No, I wouldn't classify it as YA. It's adult definitely, but like
I do be wanting male like YA protagonists though.
Yeah.
I kind of wanting that.
That's one reason I really loved Bonecryer's Moon, because one of the it's told from 3 point of views, and one of them is Bastian, like the guy. And it was so, I don't know, like his was just read so uniquely. I really liked his point of view in that book.
I know Witches of Ash and Ruin by E. Latimer, who is also going to be on Bookfest in Bed. Again, I haven't gotten the chance to read her book yet. I have the audiobook for it. Hopefully I can get it done. No promises. But I know that there is like a perspective. I don't know how much of the book is in the perspective, but there is like a perspective of like the ex-boyfriend or like some sort of boyfriend in that as well. So like, you know, that's fun. But like I don't know. I want like a Fables moment or like a
You know what boy perspective I'm not enjoying right now? Cornelius Snow. Sorry.
Man, the fact that you just said that, I just connected the dots. Man, I can't believe I just said I want male perspectives in the week that monstrosity came out.
Like,
I'm idea white men.
I'm so sorry for this man cooking cabbage soup when I know that he causes the deaths of millions of people. Like, okay, like I wish I could send you back to making cabbage soup, bitch. Like, hope that's your purgatory.
I will not be reading that book, so I have just been.
I know you told me not to read that, Monty, but I have to read it for the culture.
That's true. Like I knew you have to read it.
I'm a Leo. My opinion has to be out there.
That's true.
And it can't be a DNF opinion. It has to be a opinion. I have to be able to write an essay.
Oh, okay. Boys are in there for a third of it. Hey. I mean, I wasn't expecting them to be in there for more. I wasn't even expecting them to be there at all. So, oh my gosh, I listened to a podcast with her as well, which it was a terrible podcast, by the way. The freaking people were just talking over her every single time, and that shit is so annoying. And that is why I'm gonna be silent throughout the entire interview process. But she was mentioning how like Witches of Ash and Ruin was really inspired by 300 Fox Way, and I am just so excited to read that book.
That's the name of my Animal Crossing island.
I know. Like she was saying how like she loved the Raven Boys was a big inspiration for her just because she loved the family dynamics, and that is my favorite part of the book. Like I've only read the Raven Boys, but like I loved the boys. Don't get me wrong, but like 300 Fox Way and like being with Blue and like the family, it gave me Practical Magic vibes, which she also said was an inspiration, and I was living for it. Can you guys hear my dog barking?
Yes.
I have to FaceTime my sister. You better bring that dog in right now. I am busy.
We'll probably wrap up soon.
Oh, you're not Ryan.
Ryan's here, honey.
Oh. Well, bye.
Who was that?
Huh?
Who was that?
My dad.
Oh.
I was like, where's Ryan? She's at dinner with them. So I guess my dog is just going to be barking. My apologies. I can't go let her in. So. Yeah. Anyways.
The covenant
operator like Lana and give my thoughts.
I'm sorry.
I can't stand you. Okay. Well. All right. Do you guys have any questions for us about the event? Because we kind of got off topic, even though there wasn't really a topic. But
I love bi characters who say their bye.
I agree. Any questions? If you guys have any questions about the lineup, how the live show is going to go, the process, anything of that nature, we are here for about like, I don't know, like 5 minutes, 5 more minutes. Mm-hmm. I'm very excited.
I'm
I'm nervous, but I'm excited.
I'm like, I gotta like make my setup.
I haven't decided if I'm gonna film it here or like in my regular setup yet.
I'm gonna film at my desk, you know, like where I used to film videos.
Oh yeah.
My bed in the background. And I'm gonna just like make my bed really pretty.
Cute. I feel like I'm just like most nervous of like my internet cutting out or something.
Yeah, okay, well see, I have shitty Wi-Fi, so I'm thinking of either buying one of those cables, Ethernet cable, or just using my hotspot the entire time from my iPad, which is probably what I'll do.
Yeah.
Right now, so can you watch the panels afterwards? Yes, and we'll probably put after it's over and done, we can go through and put times in the description.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely do that for sure. The description is going to be so long. I'm already thinking about like all of the links that I want, because like I want to put Goodreads links to like all of the author books, and I'm going to have to put like all of like the booktuber links, and I'm going to literally have to like draft like the description like a night before. Like it's going to be like a process, but I mean, it's not that hard, but I'm just saying like it's going to be a lot. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Hopefully you got some more insight into the whole thing. Even though, you know, if you follow me on Twitter, you probably have known my chaos, shouting and screaming.
Either way.
Huh?
We love hanging out either way.
Oh yeah. I love lives. I'm so mad that StreamYard is now charging me. They were all like, you can still do it for free if you only do 20 hours a month. Now, I don't know math. I don't know if I do 20 hours a month. I know this is going to be 12 hours. So I knew I was like, I'm going to pay for the first month and we're just going to see. But yeah, that kind of sucks.
I almost did. Sorry, someone asked me a question. But yeah, so StreamYard, first of all, YouTube just sucks for getting rid of the Google Hangout thing.
That's true.
I do enjoy StreamYard. I like it a lot. And it's going to be really easy for the whole studio concept for when we are bringing in authors. That's actually going to help a lot. But like,
yeah, well, anyways, again, thank you guys for hanging out with us. If you would like to donate, our GoFundMe is in the description. If you want to give us a follow and you don't have any of our links, all of that is in the description. Follow Carly, subscribe to Carly. Again, if you have any future questions, just like DM me, comment on the announcement video, tweet at us. Like there are plenty of ways to reach us. And I hope you guys have a fun time. And I'm really excited to see you guys again during the actual live event. Again, I will announce the winners of the books on Twitter probably tomorrow. Just because like I want to watch Avatar tonight and I'm lazy. So, but these will be announced tomorrow. Miss Goldie, I believe, you will be getting a DM from me for the Crow Rider. Yeah, so thank you guys for hanging out. And we will.
Bye.